all the dignitaries on stage, and all the professors, lecturers, teachers, friends out here in the auditorium. Before even I start my story, right, there is one thing that I always believe in, and I've driven that message across wherever I go, and that's you're playing a different game. You will hear me talk about this multiple times through my talk today. It was the year 2007. iPhone had just made its debut in the market. India had made a significant achievement in bringing back the SRE satellite back from its orbit. While these accomplishments were happening on the world stage, there was a young boy sitting in the orientation session with a lot of aspiring students, with dreams in his eyes, passion in his heart, but a tinge of doubt in his mind, thinking, what will I even do in life? That boy was me. Fast forward a few years, he passed out of Anand College of Engineering with campus placements in HCL Technologies as a design engineer. And that's where the world of dichotomies began for him. It was 2012, like he just said, I won the Young Engineer of the Year award. But now I had an offer from a startup to start the mechanical design and engineering department completely and head it. Should I choose to stay in the stable corporate world that I started and had established myself, or should I make that leap into the unknown to grow exponentially, albeit some risk? And I thought, I'm going to play my different game. I took the leap of faith, went into the startup. Over the next 4 years, went on to head the entire mechanical design and assembly division, selling fundamental devices, selling fundus cameras all through the country and across the world. But life is not a straight line, right? In 2017, the startup started struggling and soon we closed down. So I was out of the company, jobless, unemployed, and stepped up into the face of uncertainty. Struggled for a few months, and then L&D Technologies happened, and I joined them as a design engineer. But in the next 2 months, the dichotomy hit me again. I was not liking what I was doing. So should I stay back and suppress my passion, or should I quit and again face unemployment? Again, I was playing a different game. I came out, struggled for the next 4-5 months, and decided that I will do my game differently and joined Complete Solutions and was placed and applied as a contractor. Over the next 6 months, I was challenged with tasks and opportunities or challenges that seemed intimidating to somebody with my experience. But what came to my rescue was my different game that I played at the startup. Having end-to-end product design, learning from different people, learning from the pioneers in the industry over those 4 years in the startup, helped me steer through these challenges, establishing myself as an able design engineer, as an able leader, and as an able innovator. Today, I lead a team of around 40 to 50 professionals across India and North America, collaborating with global teams across Asia, Europe, Israel, and the United States. When I look back and think about how did all this become possible, it brings me back to this particular institution. Right? I always tell people I summarize my Diamond Sagar journey with 3 F words: friends, faculty, and facilities. Friends, I think in the first semester I found my 3 idiots here. Srinivas, Sumant, and I, the 3 people who hung out together all the time. We were bunking classes, sitting in the parking lot, and enjoying and having the time of our life. They say you're as good as the people you hang out with. And I was lucky to have a bunch of focused, fun-loving, yet motivated group of friends. Together, we pursued internships at HAL, Bosch, and Indian Institute of Science that gave us a strong foundation when we entered the professional world. And all this would not have been possible without the support from our faculty. And that brings me to my second F, our faculty. I think Diamond Sagar has always had an emphasis on creating a great learning environment with an amazing and able set of faculties that we've seen. From my times, I still remember Dr. C.P.S. Prakash, who was my HOD, my project guide, Dr. Kupale Prabhakar, and Kamesh, and many other people who touched our lives in multiple ways. Right? So today when I look back, I think these people were not just helping me with my studies, they were helping me chart my own unique path when I go out of this institution. And that's what Dhanansagar Sagar has truly given me throughout this. And whether it was just a chat in the lobby, whether it was a classroom lecture, or whether it was guidance in the labs, they told me that there is no one size fits for all success, formula for success. And that again re-emphasized my message that you are playing a different game. And how am I playing this different game in Dhanansagar Sagar? With all the facilities. I don't think I would be wrong when I say Dhanansagar Sagar has always been ahead of the curve, one step ahead of everyone else in the game when it comes to infrastructure. When I was a student, I remember, I think we were one of the first colleges in India to have a digital library that gave us access beyond textbooks. It takes me back to a good story that I read in a book called Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and he talks about why Bill Gates was very different. I'll give you a perspective. Bill Gates had the luxury, I wouldn't even call it an advantage, the luxury of having access to a computer in the 1960s when most of them didn't even know of something like that. To put things in perspective, according to UN, in 1968, there were 303 million college-going people. Out of that 303 million, 18 million of them were in the United States. Out of 18 million, just 270,000 lived in Washington State and just a mere 100,000 in Seattle. And of this 100,000 students, 300 of them were in the Lakeside School. Bill Gates was one of them. So 300 from a 303 million, it's a little 1 in a million possibility. And that's what facilities can do for you. That's what infrastructure can do for you. And that's what I did for Bill Gates, and otherwise today we wouldn't have seen Microsoft. And connecting the dots, that is the infrastructure that Dhanansagar Sagar gave to me. Whether it was the labs, whether it was the sports ground, or whether it's our vibrant fests. It told us that you're not just here to study, you're here to create your style, you're here to play your own game. And that is what I forever remain grateful to Dhanansagar Sagar for. Having done all this, today I stand here with immense gratitude and would definitely look for opportunities to give back to Dhanansagar Sagar for having done so much and playing a pivotal role in my journey. Some of the things that, like you heard when Dr. Vinay spoke, is I have been mentoring people, but now I think it's time I come in and mentor people in Dhanansagar Sagar and give back to the place that has given me so much. So one thing that I would really love doing is mentoring kids, helping them with their resume preparations, interviews, leadership skills. That is something that I would really love doing. Second thing is maybe increasing our alumni engagement, fostering that relation between alums and current students. I think it's a great way to improve our collaboration and learning from each other. That is something that I truly believe in, and definitely, like the other guests have mentioned, bridging that gap between what is expected in the industry and what we're doing today. That's, I think, a major place that we can, as alums, come back and help build that collaboration and build that learning. And if any of you have any more ideas, I would be grateful to even hear to them and take action as possible. Right? Two things that, having spoken about what I would do, two things that for me stand out or that have worked for me, formula that has worked for me throughout my career is one is extracurricular and one is reading. That is a message that I drive everywhere. Like you heard, I've been a Toastmaster for over a decade now. So I have been a public speaker for almost half my life, or a little less than that, and that's what I love doing. But what these extracurriculars, what Toastmasters did to me is push me out of my comfort zone, right? Gave me that creativity, gave me that edge, and I started learning more from people from different walks of life. You sit in the classroom, you learn from your peers, you walk around your college, you learn from other engineers, but you step into such forums, you learn from people from different walks of life. You can be an entrepreneur, she can be a business lady, it can be anyone out there, and you get learn different perspectives. And the second habit that I've always had is reading. This year, I started off with a target of 12 books, and thanks to the metro commute that I do to office, I could do 20 books in this year. right? So that is something that I really love doing, and I would urge all of you to do because that's the best investment we can do to ourselves. In summary, I would really like to first thank the college for its immense, unparalleled contribution in my career here today. But thinking a few things that runs in the current world, I think we live in a world of constant comparisons, right? She scores well, why don't I? He got into a startup, maybe that's what I should do. She's pursuing the masters, maybe that's the best thing to do. Stop there, think about it. If you are setting your benchmarks based on somebody else's journey, you're already starting on the wrong foot. If I took my stock trading strategy from what Warren traded 60 years back, I don't think I'll be anywhere close to where he is today. But he's the god of investing. Right? What we have to learn is that each one of us is playing a different game. So whether it's a corporate decision, whether it's a professional decision, it's a personal choice, or it's as simple as deciding between two bikes just because somebody else has a better one. Think about it. It's all a different game. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words.